What's up, guys? Jack Etchman here from Scootertrix Studios, and I am back to do another commentary for Scootertrix the Abridged, this time for episode 22. So without further ado, let us begin. So episode 22 is probably one of the best episodes I've ever made of Scootertrix, and it always really looked good. On paper, it looked good. I always kind of had high hopes for this one, and I'm very glad that it did very well, too, so that was nice. And, of course, the big thing in this episode is Celestia returns. And that one little line there where she's like, did you miss me? That was for the fans. Just because we hadn't gotten a Celestia and Luna scene in a long time, and Celestia had been gone from the series for a while, and there was just a couple episodes where we hadn't had that, and then on top of that, it took months for this episode to come out, so I think it was just a great way to bring her back, and it's like, finally, she's back.
Excellent. But who's a good student?
I remember this sketch, writing it, and I was like, oh, this is just kind of demeaning for Twilight's character, treating her like a dog. But at the same time, I was like, it's also just really funny. Just put it in. So, I think it worked great. It's harmless.
The fighting was fierce and morale was low.
And we have Michael's back doing the panels. The same person who did the panels in 2014, the episode 14. And they look great. Just a great representation of the stuff going on in the war in the North. This one battle in the North.
Anyway, 2 days later, victory was ours.
Yeah.
So, what stuff have you guys been up to? I was locked out of my house by a rabbit. Wow, that's great. Stuff like that. That's why I
This episode is just jokes. It's just a ton of jokes, which I think is probably one of the reasons why it's so good is because I didn't focus too much on story this time. It's just a very basic story, but then the whole episode is just jokes. And then right at the very end, it's like this little spike of drama, and the drama pops out because the rest of the episode is just comedy. So that's kind of the formula I'm going with right now, is comedy, like just basic story, comedy all the way, little spike of drama, and then comedy afterward. And then on top of that, some character development. So that was the formula, and I liked how it turned out.
You've all done very well.
And yes, that is a reference to Are You Being Served?
You have to. The request came from Celestia.
This shot right here is green screened. That's a green screen shot. And I really like how seamless it is. It's basically just, I took a sort of a shot of this building and zoomed into this one little place with the shelf and everything, and then made some of the lines less blurry because it's very blurry at that point, and then just put Twilight, the green screen Twilight, on it, and we did 2 shots where it's Twilight's looking at Fluttershy, and then the same shot except Twilight is reversed and looking at Celestia. And the shot's very seamless. I don't think many people noticed that it was a green screen shot. Then, of course, we have to have a Celestia and Luna scene, which we have not had in a very long time. And I think originally this conversation was going to be saved for the next Royal Correspondence episode. But it made more sense here. And it gives me more room for stuff to do in the Royal Correspondence, because I still have all these little sketches of Celestia and Luna that I still want to do. Yeah, but there's probably going to be like some reference to this, though, in the next Royal Correspondence episode.
Who controls the largest object in the solar system? You think a few zombies?
I remember like Luna was supposed to have lines like talking over Celestia here, but I think something must have happened where it didn't make sense, or editing wise it didn't look good or something.
We're gonna figure out why I'm afraid of things like you.
So my dad actually wrote the basic story for this episode, and I think he may have even written the first draft of this episode. And then I came in and did most of the dialogue and some of the sketches and jokes. But there's really a good mix between stuff that we both did on this one. Like my dad did this sketch, for example, and he did the Cronenberg lotion one. This one's me, the inflating water thing.
Okay, I don't even know what this is. I just found it on the couch.
Yeah, but again, it's just this episode it really focused on trying to make it really, really funny. And it's just joke after joke after joke after joke. And I think it just worked out really well.
Okay, that's really creepy. I mean, you're a bird. How would you know how to do that? That's like an 8 right there. Right up there with like talking baby dolls or something. Who's there? It's me.
I think Atomic
Hey,
edited
how's
this
the bird
scene.
going? Oh, Twilight, man. It seems like no matter what I do, like it just keeps on getting creepier, man. What are you talking about? Well, I've been doing all these experiments on it, like you suggested.
Twilight's
to figure out
face.
why I'm so afraid of it. What? You've been experimenting on Celestia's pet? What? Are you insane? You're supposed to be caring for it. Well, yeah, but I mean, like, what about me, man? What about you?
I think I wanted to do something with the bird too, where they did that weird coughing thing too,
Did you leave
but
the front door open? Oh no!
I think that got cut out for time.
It's unleashed! It's unleashed! It's unleashed!
I don't think too much was cut out of here for time, but I don't
Where'd
know.
it go, man? Oh man, it must be terrified. What? There it is. It went into that house.
This was me. I just remember watching the episode and I was like, oh, I could have fun with this. The whole Scooby-Doo door gag thing.
Let's just try to run through it.
I think the only problem though is that Twilight starts to sound like Fluttershy when she's shouting.
Trapped, man.
And I had to do that. I had to like put in like a, oh, we're trapped, man. So that you know that it's Fluttershy saying it, not Twilight.
How it feels.
And here's the spike of drama
No.
that we have. I just remember hearing this somewhere. It's like the drama will pop out more if the whole episode is drama, it's just going to be too overwhelming and like, it's exhausting. But if you have like this little spike of drama, it's much more impactful.
Fluttershy. Why was I so scared of it, man?
I also really like the little
I mean, it was just this little bird,
the little
man.
silence where it's, and just like the sound effects of like the sand
I
going
didn't
from
do
her
anything to help it.
hooves.
Well, this whole time,
Both these shots
I
are
was
green
just
screen
thinking about
shots.
how it could hurt me. That was cruel. Unloving. Fluttershy. It's not.
And I think Atomic actually did both of these at the last minute, just because,
Kindness, I guess.
or, well, real quick, that one line, I remember doing that, and I was like, I felt so proud of myself. It's like, it's like it's like a callback to episode 2, and then,
Oh God, that was
But,
Celestia's bird.
and then I think it's, you don't want to mix up your drama and comedy, but I think it's safe to have comedy right after, like a joke right after your big dramatic scene. But anyway, basically I had someone else doing the green screen shots for those two shots, and they weren't getting done. I wasn't hearing back from the guy. So I was like, Atomic, can you save the day and like finish these? And he's like, yeah, I'm in. And so he got them done in time, which was great.
What? No! She would be evil. That pretty much defines evil.
And this scene was, my dad wrote this whole scene. I think this was his, and I think this was a big highlight of the episode that people were quoting and going crazy over. So
Which one do you want ruling the kingdom?
it's a great Celestial Luna
Hey,
scene.
little mouse. I hope that feels better. Sorry for trying to step on you earlier. Hi.
Sorry for trying to step on you earlier.
What is it?
Oh my god.
Yeah, I forgot about the picnic. Thanks so much, Rabbit.
And that
Okay,
little
animals.
music.
I want to hear all about your week. Who wants to go first?
I remember these two scenes with Fluttershy were going to take place before the Celestial Luna scene,
I feel you, man.
but editing wise it didn't make sense because like Twilight mentions Celestia and then it's like, it'd be weird if we just cut to Fluttershy. So I was like, okay, I'll switch those, and so this ended up being the end of the episode, not the Celestia and Luna scene. Alright, well, that's about it, so thank you all very much, and see you in the next one. See ya.